Smart meter rollouts are exposing a new fault line: connectivity, reliability and security at massive scale.
This is Powering the Future, a podcast series brought to you by Smart Grid Forums. One planet, one power grid.
I'm joined today by Cyril Proye from Thales Digital Identity and Security. We'll be unpacking how eSIM and next generation standards are changing the risk profile of utility IoT networks. Hello, Cyril. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to have you on the podcast.
Thanks, Mandana. Thanks to invite me for this. I'm super glad to be here.
Oh, my pleasure. Glad you're here too. So, Cyril, before we get started with some of the questions that I have for you, it'd be really good for our audience to know a bit more about your background in terms of your role, responsibilities, and maybe some of your priorities at Thales.
I'm Cyril. I work for 2 years now for Thales in the south of France at La Ciotat, close to Marseille, for those who know this nice environment. I'm in charge of the marketing for the IoT verticals. Typically, I've been working in an IoT ecosystem for 5 years now, more than 5 years, and previously 10 years of experience in the telecom and smart card industry. Thales, in a nutshell, the global technology leader company operating across 3 main core business segments: defense and security, aerospace and space, and cybersecurity and digital identity. We have a strong historical presence in energy and utilities ecosystem. We are protecting typically more than 400 critical sites, critical infrastructure worldwide. So I'm part of what we call CDI, so cybersecurity and digital identity. My mission with Thales, I would say, is to find the sweet spot in the IoT galaxy where we can leverage our position of a strong leader to find new revenue. Take the example of the utility. The utility segment is typically defined as the second biggest market in the IoT by the analysts after the automotive, thanks to the maturity of the large deployment of smart meters or connected devices, more specifically. It's one of my top priorities on my desk: understand the main pain point of the utilities deploying smart infrastructure, see how the cellular connectivity could be an advantage, see how Thales solution can help them in their daily life, and especially in their operational point of view, with a strong focus, I would say, on the smart meter deployment and their management.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. So utilities is a big segment for you. Tell us a bit about what you're finding in the utility market in Europe at the moment. What are some of the key themes, opportunities and challenges that utilities are facing?
Globally, the utilities spend millions of euros of investment in the smart infrastructure. We are talking about smart meters, but also some other connected devices like gateways, concentrators, high power line sensors for electricity, also connected pumps for the water distribution. These new infrastructure are imposed by regulations, especially in Europe, where the distributor system operator, the DSO, have to prove a cost-benefit analysis, a CBA, before the full implementation. But there's interest behind. There's an interest here. We can mention different use cases justifying such investments, important investment, like fighting non-revenue water, non-revenue energy for electricity and gas, also early detect outage, power quality. That's for the operational side of the DSO, I would say, and for the consumer, a better control of their consumption in real time, and therefore to limit the waste. An important challenge that we understand from the utilities deploying such infrastructure at the end is to get the data. The most important is for them to get the data. They will pilot the decision, they will pilot their operation based on those inputs that are super important. And why is it a challenge? Because the environment can change during the long life cycle of the device. We are talking, for smart meter example, a life cycle of 10, 15, 20 years. Any change of the environment will create disturbance. We can mention also some cyber threats, cyber attacks that can destroy the environment, also the infrastructure, I would say, and potentially an unexpected shutdown of the connectivity provider, whatever the technology. So therefore, getting the good data, the proper data on time is a challenge and require workforce locally for the DSO, for the utilities. They dedicate full team to be ready to debug locally, to make the maintenance, and to have some quick interventions. That's for me the main challenge for the utilities to deploying the smart meter and to maintain the connectivity that creates a cost, a heavy cost in their P&L.
Right. Okay. So data and the skills required to manage that data is, you'd say, very high on the agenda. Okay. So Cyril, now I understand that Thales specializes in a technology called eSIM, and it helps utilities maximize the security and reliability of their infrastructure. Tell us a bit more about, the unique selling points of this solution.
Yeah, thanks for this question, Mandana. So let me maybe introduce the eSIM concept first before going into the details. The analysts predict a growth of the shipment of cellular devices for the energy, so smart meters and other connected devices, of 40% during the period of 2030, so for the next 5 years, which make the cellular connectivity by far the number one technology compared to the other, which is wire PLC or short RF wireless technology. Thanks to an existing strong install-based infrastructure, and a low-powered wide area protocol such as NB-IoT or LTE. The smart meters that are cellular, in that case, need a SIM card to get access to the mobile network. And the eSIM, what we call eSIM embedded SIM, the teeny component, is being more and more deployed, more and more adopted, and will become a must for the cellular connected devices in the smart grid for the coming years. Why? The promise of the eSIM, the embedded SIM for the utilities, is the remote control of their connectivity management. We call it RSP, remote SIM provisioning, that will allow an automatic switch of the network in case of emergency, in case of failure, or in case of just change planned. And more importantly, that will allow to save, we made this calculation, few tens of millions of euros in case of they need to change the connectivity provider by doing it remotely, pushing the profile at once for the complete fleet and not using an important working force locally.
Right.
Another argument I would like to mention, Mandana, is the reliability. You ask in your question. The eSIM is a teeny component, electronic component. It will be soldered onto the motherboard, onto the PCB of the smart meter, and it will be much reliable compared to the previous plastic SIM card. And for the security point of view, the eSIM is a secure element. We call it root of trust. It will protect the identity, the unique identity of the device, of the smart meter, during the entire life cycle. Same that the SIM, same concept, but what is something new for the eSIM is the certification scheme. It's quite solid, robust. Any eSIM manufacturers must demonstrate the compliance with the GSMA. GSMA is a global system for mobile communication association. This is a body that regulates all the standard and the specification. And they're forced to have certification like ESA for the physical eSIM card, SASUP and SASSM for the certification of the production sites, as well as the hosting platform.
Right, okay. Now, I know that utilities are considering a whole range of connectivity technologies and methods. So how does eSIM compare with alternatives?
That's a good question, and it's often asked by the sales team, and often asked by our leads, what about the other technology? I'm used to say it's like in IoT, not only for energy, it's in the IoT that no one technology will fit all needs. That's clear. Clear. The IoT ecosystem is heavily fragmented and still the same for the connectivity with different technology, and they will cohabit in parallel with their pros and cons. One of the key advantages using cellular connectivity with the eSIM I can mention is to be capable to manage both connectivity and security in the same time. This is the heart of the IoT solution from Thales, and this is the heart of our pitch. We kill somewhere two birds with one stone, giving the key to the DSO for remote and flexible connectivity management, as well as to secure the endpoint for the entire channel of the data. That's a major differentiator for me compared to the other technology and of connectivity for the smart meter.
Right. Okay. So what's driving the next level of eSIM functionality and reliability? What's coming on the horizon?
There's a new standard in this ecosystem called SGP32 eSIM IoT. It's a new standard defined by the GSMA association for the connectivity management. It's fully designed for the IoT object. And Thales, I would say, has pioneered this standard at the GSMA itself years ago. And the final set of specification has been released early January 2025. The SGP32 eSIM IoT application has been introduced somewhere to simplify the deployment and the management of the IoT devices on a large scale. It's based on the concept, still on the remote SIM provisioning technology, RSP, but designed based on the consumer devices approach that we use for smartphone, as an example. Already deployed in a very large scale. We are talking about a few hundred millions of devices already deployed.
Right.
But still, to give the remote control to be remotely manageable by the IoT enterprise service provider or the DSO. So in this new standard, there's a new entity that is emerging, what we call the EIM, the eSIM IoT Remote Manager. What is it? It's important to have an intermediate in the consumer industry using a smartphone. You take the decision to have an action on your connectivity. The idea of the IoT here is to have an alternative body. The platform will discuss directly with the endpoint, the smart meter, to have this remote control and to be capable to take decision locally, automatically. So the benefit of this new approach is that the link with the mobile network operator will be very smooth. There's no deep nor heavy technical integration that is required, and furthermore, the low power and constrained devices that are running on networks such as NB-IoT or LTM, but especially on NB-IoT, that can be remotely managed via simplified protocols, still managed by the EIM. So all in one, this new standard is giving simplicity, flexibility for entrepreneurs, for DSO. And one important thing for me for the utility is the resilience. I want to take an example, a concrete example here. We did a proof of concept last year, end of the year in November in North America, a utility event called UBBA. We partnered together with Verizon, for the mobile network operator tier 1, and Nokia, who is building private network infrastructure for utilities. In the context of remote mission critical IoT application, we simulate a natural disaster and then sudden loss of control of the connectivity, total shutdown of the network. We simulate the connectivity, so the Metre was connected to the wireless private network built by Nokia and switch automatically to the public network using the Verizon profile and the SGP32 platform from Thales. So basically, that was our proof of concept. It's public. We can find information on this. And today, there's a lot of proof of concept also in Europe that are running, and the adoption, I hope, will take off in the coming months and years.
Fantastic, great. All right, so sounds very interesting, Cyril. What will you be showcasing at SGT26 in Paris at the end of March? Tell us a bit more about the solutions and the products that you have that utilities can expect to see.
Our European sales team will attend for the first time this event at Paris, and we are glad about this. First, we'll take the opportunity to share more our experience on the eSIM adoption with our public case studies, the one I just mentioned. Take the example. So we showcase our product. We can showcase our product. How does it work? How the platform is working? Talking to the eSIM. How does it work for the utilities? We can mention also some public case study like E.ON in Germany, with these affiliates, Bayernwerk and Invest Energy, who adopt already this eSIM solution. Also, SICOM Alliance with the three DSOs in the Netherlands, Alliander, Stedin, and eXIM, who already adopt also the eSIM. So basically, all related to the SGP32 standard, we can explain in details. And also, last but not least, we can explain our additional services that are not part of the SGP32 standard, but we help Design by Thales and we help the daily of the DSOs, such as eSIM Orchestrator. We have a solution that called eSIM Orchestrator. It is generating the business rules to automate the connectivity of the fleet of the device, which is on the field. Typically, once I put a smart meter on the field, what about the connectivity when we press the button on? What about the connectivity as soon as there is a shutdown on the field? What happens? What happens if they have quality of service potential issue? All those business rules set automatically in the platform will control locally the decision by the device itself. And the last one will be our single pane of glass, a complete centralized orchestrator, which unifies the connectivity management platform from different connectivity providers in order, again, to simplify the device management, their data, and the entire install base. Right. So I stop here the teaser. We will see on the show, and I'm really looking forward for this event.
Oh, we're looking forward to having your team on site with us. Thank you so much for the insights today, Cyril. That's been really useful, and look forward to seeing you all at the end of March in Paris.
Thanks, Mandana.
You have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Join us again next time as we unpack another big topic shaping the future of the power grid. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Smart Grid Forums, and to follow us on LinkedIn. Until then, thanks for watching and listening.
This is Powering the Future, a podcast series brought to you by Smart Grid Forums. One planet, one power grid.